Julius Malema promises more jobs, security, and free education in Fairy Freedom Day speech. As the cost of living increases, healthcare services deteriorate, and service delivery declines, Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters (EFF), delivered a fiery address in Alexandra Township on Saturday. Speaking at Alexandra Stadium, Malema outlined his party's response to the crisis if they were to govern. His speech promised more sustainable jobs, free education, improved healthcare, enhanced social grants, better service delivery, crime reduction, business development opportunities, and housing for the disadvantaged. The address coincided with South Africans across the country celebrating Freedom Day and marked 30 years of democracy. Malema criticized the past 30 years under the African National Congress (ANC) as a waste of time, promising a government that people will recognize under his party after the elections. The 2024 national and provincial elections are scheduled for May 29th, as announced earlier this year by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Malema emphasized the importance of increasing social grants, which he described as an immediate benefit to alleviate hunger and poverty while working towards creating permanent jobs. Social grants are not a permanent solution to poverty. The solution lies in education and better jobs, he stated. He also advocated for increased grants for the elderly, noting their prudent financial management and the role of these grants in sustaining their families. They will spend the money on food and feeding their families, not on alcohol. Without their social grants, we wouldn't be here, he said. Furthermore, Malema promised that under an EFF government, the police will be safe and restore order, highlighting that misconduct would not be tolerated. Also, Economic Freedom Fighter EFF leader Julius Malema has taken a swipe at President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying he failed to deliver on the 1 million houses he promised to the people of Alexandra. This is after the ANC-led government of President Cyril Ramaphosa promised to build houses for the people of Alex as a part of the Alex Renewal Project, but to date, their houses are nowhere to be seen. Malema addressed the Freedom Day rally at Alexandra Stadium in Alexandra Township on Saturday as South Africans across the country are celebrating Freedom Day. It is also a 30-year celebration of democracy. Ramaphosa came to Alex and promised to build 1 million houses, but to date, there is no single house that was built by him. We have never seen Alexandra grow and have nice houses. We want it to grow and give our people houses, he said. But it has since been disfigured by what Malema described as Alexandra mafias, who stole the money and used it for their interests. Alexandra is worse than the time when the money was released. The renewal had billions of rands, and the mafias ate the money. Today, there is nothing that looks like a million. After stealing the money, they left Alex to stay in the suburbs of Johannesburg because of the money from the renewal, he said. The estimated budget for renewal was 1.3 million rand over 7 years. The government has since dismissed the claims. But Malema promised that under the EFF government, Alex will have houses of people to live in comfortably and with dignity. He further encouraged the people to vote for his party to witness a decisive government that works for its people. The national and provincial election will be held on May 29th. The Economic Freedom Fighters EFF, led by Julius Malema, has appealed to South Africans to give them votes in the hotly contested May 29th election, arguing that the Red Berets have turned around the fortunes of the troubled Ekurhuleni municipality in Gauteng. The party's Ntabiseng Chivenga, who is also speaker in Ekurhuleni, addressed the IOL elections panel discussion held at the Sandton Radisson Blu Hotel in Johannesburg on Friday. The EFF is asking for your votes just for the 5 years, not more than that. We have demonstrated in the city of Ekurhuleni. It is the best run municipality in Gauteng, and we've seen our people who are running the worst run municipality in Gauteng claiming that we are not doing that, she said. A vote for the EFF is a vote for the land to be returned to its rightful owners. It is a vote for jobs to be available for all who qualify. It is a vote for restoration of energy which drives the economy. Action SA National Chairperson Michael Beaumont also conversed for the votes, saying his party is a new kid on the block and does not form part to a failed political establishment for 30 years. We are now contesting in all 9 provinces and obviously right throughout Gauteng. We are going to be a serious force to be reckoned with here. We are led by somebody who has not just said he can do it, but he has actually done it. The best time in Joburg's history was between 2016 and 2019 when Herman Mashaba was the mayor, and we can implement those solutions from a Gauteng standpoint, he said. Action SA occupies the abandoned center of South African politics. Political parties here have moved out, and the majority of South Africans in the center have been left out. On the other hand, Gauteng MEC for Economic Development, Tasneem Motara, in her capacity as ANC Gauteng Deputy Secretary, said a vote for the ruling party means defending South Africa's democracy and its gains. A vote for the ANC would mean defending our democracy and our democratic gains, defending the human rights that we have or benefited from, she said. A vote for the ANC would mean an expansion of the services that have been extended to all South Africans, an increase in skills, an increase in professionals, an increase in expansion of the black middle class that has benefited from the politics of the ANC. We would want that to expand to all South Africans, said Motara. Build one South Africa. BOSA has challenged EFF leader Julius Malema to examine its 140,000 signatures it submitted during its registration last year to the Electoral Commission of South Africa, IEC. This comes after Malema on Friday called into question the validity of BOSA's 140,000 signatures, saying there was no way the party was able to accumulate this number of signatures. He added there had to be systems in the place to verify the authenticity of signatures as part of the IEC requirements for new political parties to be eligible to be on the ballot. Systems need to be put in place to verify the authenticity of signatures. The EFF has approached the IEC requesting that it patch loopholes that are allegedly allowing political parties to submit fake and unverified signatures, Malema said. In a statement on Monday, BOSA spokesperson Roger Solomons urged Malema to meet him at the IEC offices in order to see for himself the number of signatures the party garnered when it registered with the IEC last year. BOSA notes with fascination the comments made by the Economic Freedom Fighters EFF leader Julius Malema, questioning the legitimacy of more than 140 signatures of support BOSA submitted to the IEC. Challenging the legitimacy of this IEC requirement without any evidence is a serious matter and one which BOSA does not take lightly. Our activists and supporters are leaders with integrity, taking no shortcuts in doing the hard yards of proving to the IEC that our party enjoys significant support in every province, said Solomons. The party said it had unmarked Wednesday, April 24th, for Malema to come see for himself the number of signatures submitted to the IEC. However, we remain flattered that Mr. Malema is concerned with BOSA's growth. We therefore today challenged Mr. Malema to come examine BOSA's 140,000 signatures himself outside the IEC offices in Tshwane this Wednesday, April 24th at 3 p.m. We will make available the 140,000 signatures for his perusal, the party said. Furthermore, BOSA called on the EFF to reveal its founders for its election manifesto, which was held in February at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, as well as all the provincial manifestos across the country's 9 provinces. Finally, we urge Mr. Malema to play open cards with South Africa and reveal who paid for the EFF's national manifesto launch and each one of the party's provincial launches, amounting to several millions of rands. With no funding declarations to the IEC, many are led to believe that shady money from cigarette smugglers is finding its way into EFF coffers, Solomon argued. Following a public outcry over her demotion from the parliament list, the Economic Freedom Fighters EFF has appointed Naledi Cherwa Mpungose as the party's Youth and Student Mobilization Committee coordinator. The party also deployed other members, including Xolise Qilishe as election spokesperson and Mafia Fain as the Youth and Student Mobilization Committee convener. Qilishe is currently the head of the communications in the party leader Julius Malema's office. The convener and coordinator's responsibilities will be mobilizing youth and students to vote the party in the upcoming 2024 national and provincial elections. The elections will be held on May 29th. In a statement, the party said the committee is mandated to establish elections campaign battalions, Mlungisi Mandosela battalions, with a minimum of 1,000 students in every institution of higher learning with students, population of above 5,000 students, and battalions of a minimum of 20% of the student population of all universities, universities of technology, and TVET college campuses. The Mlungisi Mandosela battalions are responsible for the mobilization of voters in and outside campuses to vote for the EFF in the 2024 elections. The Youth and Students Mobilization Committee will be expected to hold and lead mobilizations, programs, and activities in all institutions of higher learning and committees, and will represent comprehensive numerical reports to the weekly meetings of the EFF CATF meetings, the EFF said. Cherwa Mpungose's development comes a month after she issued a public apology following the hefty fine by the EFF for missing the budget speech in February. In her apology, she mentioned that the reason for her not attending the speech was due to her 4-year-old daughter falling sick on the day. As part of the apology, she was required to purchase 2 EFF-branded gazebos, which each cost 5,000 rand. This caused a stir among citizens who said EFF was not being fair to her. EFF leader Julius Malema has cast doubt on the credibility of the signatures gathered by Musi Maimane's Build One South Africa BOSA, raising concerns about the verification process for political party signatures required by the Electoral Commission of South Africa, IEC. During a media briefing in Johannesburg on Friday, Malema questioned the validity of the 140,000 signatures obtained by the BOSA. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.